welcome to my latest video. Today I've got a tutorial for you and it's sort of like a bronzy eye, a bit smoky with a weird coloured lip, I think. I don't know what colour this lip is. Is it pink? Is it red? Or is it another colour that I don't know? But it's with this lip. It's sort of like a going out makeup in terms of I've got quite a heavy foundation on, and if you saw my latest video, which was a haul, I actually used quite a few of those products in this video. So if you'd like to see my sort of first impressions, what I think of them, then carry on watching. So let's get to it. So I'm not using a primer today. I'm doing a bit of an experiment to see if primers actually matter, because lots of people say they do, lots of people say they don't. So I thought I'd give it a try myself. So I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Stay Fresh Foundation. It fights makeup meltdown. Who knew? That's what it says in the bottle. And I bought this in my recent haul. If you haven't seen that, I shall leave it linked below. And I will be applying this with my Real Techniques not buffing brush. It is an expert face brush. I think I've been telling you it's been a buffing brush for a very long time. They're different. Hashtag who knew? So I'm just going to be pumping that directly onto the brush, and then I'm just going to be dotting that all over my face. I've used this foundation a couple of times and I think it's really nice. It matches my skin tone really well, which is exciting. I went to number 7 to see if I could have their like match me service. I'm too pale. They said I was too pale. I mean, I'm pale, but I'm not like a ghost. Maybe I am. Okay, so I've now blended that in. I am now going to be doing something else. I am now going to be using 2 different concealers. As I mentioned, I am going out, so I'm looking for like that flawless finish. What is wrong with me? And I'm going to be using the Maybelline Instant Eye Eraser, and then I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Lumi Magique highlighting pen. Original L'Oreal. So I'm just going to be clicking that up and getting rid of those bags. So it looks really orange on camera, but that actually helps to cancel out the blueness underneath your eye, so do not be alarmed. And I'm just going to be blending that back in with my foundation brush, because I like to live on the edge. Highlighting, if I can open it, that side, not the other side. I'm basically going to be going over where I just put the orange stuff. And I'm just going to be using the foundation brush again. Okay, so I put quite a lot of concealer on, so I'm just going to be setting that with some powder. So I'm just going to be setting that with the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Now I've set my under eyes, I'm going to be using a fluffy brush and this powder, which is the Matte Maker powder from a place, Maybelline. And it's like a bit yellowy in texture, in colour, sorry, but it's just quite light. But I find that it mattifies my face quite well. Okay, so moving on to eyes, I'm going to be doing something slightly different today, and it's going to be sort of focused around this Kohl pencil from Barry M, and it's like this bronzy colour. So what I'm going to start off by doing is lining my lower lash line and getting as close to the waterline as possible. It doesn't really matter if I line my waterline or not. So as you can see, it's quite dark, but don't worry, we're blending it out in a minute. I also decided that I would line my waterline. Oh my gosh, my eyes look so weird on camera right now. They look like pea-sized. Weird. Okay, so then I'm going to be taking my very battered but loved Salvation palette. Like, the mirror is falling off. I've pulled it off more. I've pulled it off. So this is the palette with no lid. Well done, Anna. And I'm going to be taking my MAC 219, which is like a pencil brush. Any pencil brush will do. Any brush will do. And I'm going to be taking this colour here, which is like a light bronzy weird colour, and I'm just going to be using that just to blend out the lower lash line, just so it's not quite as dark and crazy. So right now it looks a bit insane because we've got stuff on the lower lash but not on the upper lash. But I'm now going to be taking a fluffy brush. I'm going to be using my trusty MAC 217 and that same colour, the one that we just used to blend everything out. And I'm just going to be putting that all over the top of my lid. That's all I'm going to be doing. And I'm also going to be taking it up slightly in the crease. I've not used this palette for so long and I just love it. I'm so sorry that I stopped using you for more expensive things. Okay, so that's just started to help to even things out. So I'm just going to be taking that Kohl eyeliner that we put on the bottom and I'm just going to be lining my upper waterline with it. So I sort of want this to be quite a smoky look. So to line my upper lash line, I'm actually going to be using an eyeshadow. I've just realised that one of my eyeshadows from Kiko is cracked and it's really sad. I'm going to be using an eyeshadow from Kiko and it is the colour 243 and it's just like this dark purpley colour. And I'm going to be lining my upper line like I would with, say, a gel liner, but just with this colour instead. And if you use an eyeshadow, it just helps to soften it, because however careful you are, it's going to smudge slightly. So I'm just lining my upper line, and because it's purple it just adds a nice little bit of something to it. I don't know what. I'm going to use the other side. I'm just using an angled brush. I just used the wrong side. Now I'm going to use the right side. And as you can see, it's just darkened it slightly, but it's still quite soft. If you did want it darker, you could use liquid eyeliner, or you could go in with a second colour, like a black colour. I'm just going to take some of that bronzy colour that we used from the Makeup Revolution palette on the pencil brush, and I'm just going to be blending it in the inner corners of my eyes. I just think that it looks a little bit uneven. Just before I go mascara, I'm just going to be doing my brows, and I'm going to be using the Brow Drama, is that what it's called? Master Shape Brow Pencil from Maybelline New York. This again is one of the things that I got in my haul, so if you want to check that out, then go and have a look at what I bought recently. It was quite a lot of stuff. So as always, I'm just brushing my brows upwards because I'm quite liking the arched shape at the moment. And then once I've done that, I'm just filling them in. I start off by drawing sort of quite a long line down the bottom just to sort of figure out where I want it to end, and I do that on both sides because I find that it helps me to keep them even. And then I'm just slowly filling them in. I sort of start with the easy parts, like the tail end. Have you seen that? The pencil just fell off. So I'm just going to take off the eyebrow pencil that was on my face and get a different one. After that slight disaster, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Brow Artist Shaper. The spoolie is really good on this one, and that's never happened to me before, but obviously it happened when I was on camera because that's what my life does. So I was just at this point. They're pretty much the same colour anyway, which is lucky. So I'm just going to be filling them in with little strokes just to make them a bit bolder. Okay, so taking that spoolie end of the broken pencil, I'm just going to be brushing that product through just to make sure it's blended nicely. So I'm going to then be using the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper. So many people talk about this on the internet. Not many people at all talk about the Brow Artist Shaper, and I actually think this is really good. On the other side there's this white waxy end. What does this do? Does anyone know? If you know, let me know. I don't know. Anyway, this is like the Benefit Gimme Brow, and again I got this in the haul. But I just find it so much easier to use because the wand is longer, the brush is slightly bigger, and so you can sort of just use it a bit better than the Benefit Gimme Brow. Plus it's like, I think it's literally like £15 cheaper. Okay, so once you're happy with that, I actually tend to leave those to sort of set and go back in with my face now. I've sort of started mixing things up slightly. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of contouring today, not a lot. If you'd like to see sort of a proper in-depth contouring routine, I will again leave that linked here. And it is my contouring and highlighting routine, and it includes a daytime and nighttime look. And in that video I mentioned the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow palette, which is this beautiful little thing here, but I didn't use it, so I just thought I'd use it on camera today. And so I'm just going to be taking the sculpting powder on the matching Charlotte Tilbury sculpt brush, powder and sculpt, and then I'm just going to be putting that where my cheekbones are meant to be and they're not. I would say about this palette is that it's quite pigmented, so you don't need a lot. So a step that I've recently started re-putting into my routine is bronzer. Now I don't really use bronzer, and I don't think actually I've ever really used it on camera since I started my YouTube channel. But when it started to get a bit hot, now it's gone cold again because it's standard Manchester, but when it was hot, everywhere was so like glowy and nice, so I was like, I'll give bronzer a go. So I'm using the Solar Powder from Soap and Glory, which is like this. It's in quite a battered old cardboard thing now. And I just take a big fluffy brush, get quite a lot of product, and then dust it all off, tap it off. And then I just sort of go over the areas where I put that contour and it just adds a little bit more colour. So not like a really light dusting, it just adds a little bit more colour and just makes it a little bit more summery appropriate, I think. For blusher, I'm going to be using this such a cute little one from Natural Collection, and it's called Pink Cloud. So I'm just going to be taking that on my Real Techniques blusher brush. And this is just a really pretty colour. As I always say, I don't need much help in the blushing department, but I just think this is a really pretty colour. Okay, before I go in with highlighter, I'm just going to curl my eyelashes. I'm doing this in such a weird order, I appreciate that. It's just how I feel today. Okay, so since the eye makeup isn't that dramatic, you know, it's no liquid eyeliner or anything like that, I'm going to make my lashes sort of quite big and dramatic. So I'm going to be using the Max Factor False Lash Effect Bold Volume for up to 24 hours mascara. That's what I'm using. So I think you can see sort of the difference that it makes. And then I am going to put a coat on my bottom lashes, because I'm just that kind of gal. Oh, I did so well, and right at the end I blobbed it on me. So you can go in with like a second or third coat if you want, but I actually think that it's intense enough without a second or third coat. So for highlighter, I'm going to be using another thing from my haul, which was the MUA Undress Your Skin highlighter, and I'm just going to be taking this on a Real Techniques cheek brush. And the way that I use this is, as you can see, it's like a tapered, dense brush. I actually put it on its side and get the product on the side of the brush. And I get quite a lot because I like highlighter. And then I sort of tap it on my cheek like this, so that I'm not swiping it across, because it's quite a dense brush, so it can move the product around quite a lot. So I just tap it on, and as you can see, it just adds a nice highlight. Just keep tapping, just keep tapping. Finding Nemo reference, anyone? So the lip gloss, the lip pencil, sorry, I'm going to be using is from Barry M, and it is in the shade 9. Why don't I think people name things? That must be like the most fun part of the job. And then I'm just going to be lining my lips, but all my lips. Okay, so that was slightly darker than I thought it was going to be, but we'll go with it. And then I'm going to be taking this Dior colour. I'm not doing well today. Dior gloss in Offshore, and I'm actually going to be putting it on my finger and then putting it on my lips, just because I don't want to completely ruin the brush. And then this helps just add a little bit of shine. I don't know why I'm talking when I'm doing this. Not a lot, just a little bit. And this is the finished look. As you can see, it's sort of quite a soft eye, and I just think it's a really nice simple look, but that you can dress up and dress down. The lip has actually really dressed it up, which I'm quite glad about. So I hope you found this useful. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time with another video. Bye!